morning. Wait, what? It's the afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome on into another stream. A lot of cool stuff to talk about today. Not a ton of earth-shattering, groundbreaking news, but a lot of little things that we can go over. The main thing that I thought would be cool to talk about is this whole thing with the Council of Reeds, which is crazy. It's something that a lot of folks in our community called a long time ago. I think it's really freaking cool. And there's a lot of stuff that's currently like breaking and coming out about Fantastic Four and about how that connects to Doomsday. How does that connect to Doctor Doom? All of that sort of stuff. So there's a ton of cool stuff that we can get into today, and that's what we're gonna do. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Also want to say shout out to everybody that stopped on by last night for the town hall. It was a great stream, man. Really good to kind of just connect with the community in that way and just see, you know, what do you guys think I'm doing well? What do you guys think I'm not doing well? What can we do better, etc., etc. So that was fun. That was a fun stream last night, and I really appreciate everybody who made it out there for that one. If you didn't make it to that and you have some feedback for us, you can drop that to me in a DM via Discord, via Twitter, etc., etc. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty freaking chill. Not a ton of news. You know, I was frankly hoping that the investor call with Disney, I was hoping that would have a little bit more in there, like a little bit more actual news and updates and stuff like that. It seemed to be really dry, and it didn't seem to have any specific updates about what Marvel or Star Wars is doing, even less so than a lot of the other like kind of investor calls and things that we'd covered throughout this year. So if there's something I missed, if there's something that you want me to talk about, feel free to hit me up about it. Of course, yesterday, Brad Winderbaum did a big podcast, and he dropped a ton of information on there, too. I got to be real. I didn't think there were too many, like, really surprising or interesting things in there. There's a little bit of stuff about the Punisher and the future with the Punisher, and we had one of the scoopers kind of chime in and suggest that there is going to be a Punisher show. We sort of talked about that in the past, but that's kind of cool, so we'll talk about that. Denzel Washington came out and clarified his comments. He's not retiring. He's not retiring. So now I definitely want him as T'Challa. I know that's ridiculous, but I did want to talk about that. Your ex DMs aren't open. Oh, okay. I'll have to fix that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know things. But I'll figure that out. I also wanted to talk about some of the things that Alex Perez has been discussing in these Q&As. He talked about Maestro Hulk. He talked a little bit about the soft reboot. These were in the Q&A from yesterday. And then I want to talk about Doom and Wanda, Council of Reeds, crazy stuff that was in the Q&A from a couple of days ago. Now, I did a video yesterday. I did a big video yesterday about Council of Reeds, about some of the other details that are out there. I don't like to go too crazy spoilery in the streams. I try to save that for the videos. I have a video coming out later today which discusses Franklin Richards, some of the new leaks that are out there for that. That is absolutely crazy. It's really wild when you combine it with other things that are already out there rumored about the Fantastic Four movie. Like, dude, I have frankly gone... Basically, I've gone from not being very excited about the Fantastic Four because, like, mostly because of Pedro. I just don't think he's a good Reed Richards. And also the female Silver Surfer thing. That kind of irked me, too. But the more that we're hearing about this movie and the closer that we get to it, I'm getting really excited for this movie. And I wonder how you guys feel about that, too, because, I mean, they're almost done. I think they have just a couple of weeks left of shooting. Apparently, the filming went like magnificently. We are, you know, we'll probably have some pickups and maybe a little bit of reshooting, but it's not going to be what is going on with Captain America right now. And a lot of these things about like Franklin, the Council of Reeds and all that, they're pretty freaking cool, man. So I'm pretty excited. So we're gonna get into all of that and more. I don't know. I mean, we'll just kind of kick it, man. We'll go over all this different stuff. I don't know how long the stream's gonna be. Like I said, I have another video coming out later today. So we'll just say. Now, I will also say that My Time to Shine, she's teasing a Spider-Man scoop. But correct me if I'm wrong here. Hasn't she been teasing that Spider-Man scoop for, like, several weeks? Didn't she literally say the other week, like, insane Spider-Man scoop's gonna blow you away? And then she never released it because she couldn't get it confirmed. So maybe it is finally going to come out there. I guess we'll see. We'll wait and see on that one, okay? So what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? The Q&A part 2 that dropped yesterday. Yep, I got it, brother. Thank you. I heard you said that the movie nights in the town hall. I just want to say you're breaking my heart. Aw, man, I'm sorry. I don't want to break anybody's heart. Is anybody else heartbroken? Guys, are you heartbroken about not watching something tonight? Just tell me. Are you guys heartbroken? Would you like to do a little watch party thing tonight? Would that make you feel better? Would that make everybody feel better? Nope, wrong one. That one. I got it. No, dude, a lot of people are saying nah. Okay, well, fine. I guess we don't have to do a watch party tonight. I was going to turn around and do another watch party tonight. Fuck it. But no, nobody wants to do a watch party. Nobody wants to go on Twitch and watch cool things with me. Okay, fine. Fine, then we don't have to. What if we played D&D? What? No, get your rest. Oh, thanks. That's nice. That's nice of you to say. Maybe we'll talk about that later on in the stream. We'll see how you guys are feeling about that. You're breaking my heart. Well, let's see here. Michael Real, thank you for the 10 spot, brother. That is very generous. Unfortunately, I can't read what you wrote in the message. Is this some kind of foreign language? I'm like dozing off as I try to read this. Let me try to. There's like some witchcraft going on here. Josh, what are your thoughts on IMDb giving the Penguin finale? Let's try it again. What are your thoughts on IMDb giving the Penguin? Okay, let me try it again. What are your thoughts on IMDb giving the Penguin finale 9.6? I don't know, bro. I mean, good for the Penguin, I guess. You know, good for you guys. You know, I'm glad you guys liked it. What's my boilerplate answer? Hey, look, I'm glad that people like the Penguin. Okay, I've said my piece about it. And I won't be watching it because Batman didn't show up. But I'm glad that people are liking it. There you go. Rossi in for 5 today. What's up, brother? Says, I'm brokenhearted about Star Wars. Can you cancel the Rey movies? I cannot cancel the Rey movies. I don't have that power. But I do think that what we can try to do is respectfully say that this is the dumbest fucking idea we've ever heard in our life. It's so laughable, like, that they would say she's the... What did they say? Like, she's the biggest asset in their cinematic bullshit factory. I don't even know what they said, but it's absurd. So I think the only thing we can try to do is continue to voice our opinions and try to let Lucasfilm and Star Wars know that this is an absolutely terrible idea. So... that's probably the best that we can do. But I will also say, like, here's the thing, right? So yesterday when we were when we were streaming, I was asking everybody, like, what can I do better? Like, what's something that you don't like that I do? And there's a sort of consensus within the community that they would like me to give these shows and movies a fair shot and try to actually watch them and like review them a little bit. So instead of just like talking about how nobody watched The Penguin and continuing to bring up the viewership numbers and being like really petty and shitty, it seems that the community would prefer that I give it a fair shot, and if I don't like it, explain perhaps from a more critical perspective why I did not like them. Okay. So that seems to be something that the community wants. And so I am a reasonable dude. So we're going to do that. So that'll start with Skeleton Crew. I actually went pretty hard on that trailer, perhaps a little too hard on the Skeleton Crew trailer. I certainly have my feelings about it. I certainly think that they're trying to go after like a Stranger Things crowd, and it doesn't feel like Star Wars. I couldn't believe the music. I don't love a lot of the stuff that I saw in the trailer, but I am going to sit down and watch Skeleton Crew when it premieres, and I'm going to try to be as objective as possible, and then I will bring my criticisms packed up in a really cohesive, well-reasoned way, and then maybe get emotional and shit on it and freak out and be super toxic. So we're going to try to do a little bit of the Dragon Ball fusion dance here, because I do think that that's something the community wants. By the way, there are people out there, even within the community, that actually still want to root for Star Wars, and even things like Acolyte and Andor and, potentially Skeleton Crew and the others are interested in seeing what I think is actually good and what I think is actually bad about them. So I'm going to try to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I need to do better, Senator. So I'm going to try to do that. Mr. Penguin says, how will Big Franklin Richards be in the movies? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Are you talking about his age? Well, I go over that in real detail in the video that's going to drop later today, but I'll tell you that according to the scoop from Daniel, he will be like 4 years old in the movie. He's going to be born in the movie, and then I think they'll go to a point where he's 4 years old in the movie. But they're currently casting somebody for an older version of Franklin, and that is they're casting somebody between 10 and 13, I think. Right? I don't know if that answers your question. How big will Franklin Richards be in the movies? Maybe you mean like that, or maybe you're literally asking me like, how big of a role is he going to have? Is that what you're going to have to watch the video later today, man. It's kind of spoilery, It's kind of spoilery, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Did you see the new Secret Level trailer I tagged you in on Discord? Yeah, no, look, I'm really excited for Secret Lair. I think it's going to be fantastic. The only problem with Secret Lair is like, I can't watch it on stream. I've got to be a little bit more careful about what I watch on stream. The other week, we watched a small clip on Jimmy Fallon. The whole stream gets blocked, right? If we watch anything that's Amazon related, and that includes The Boys, that includes Invincible and all that sort of stuff, if we watch that shit, they will just take all the ad revenue from the video. Sometimes they block it as well. And it's just like, it's just not worth the hassle. But I can tell you, yeah, man, I saw that trailer. It looks lit. By the way, I've already seen the Warhammer short. It's incredible. I saw it about a year ago, and it was actually done. That studio was way ahead of some of the other studios for this anthology because I believe that was Blur, and I think they had 2 of the 8. I believe it's 8 different shorts. They had 2 of them. They were way ahead of the other folks. And I saw it. It's incredible. And, this is Idris Elba as the Black Ultramarine. He has a connection to Titus. It's so fucking cool. For some reason, like, nobody's really talking about how that's Idris Elba yet. But it is, and he's awesome in it, dude. Like, if you're a big Warhammer fan, or if you're open, if you're a little Warhammer curious, oh man, that shit is going to be epic. You are going to love that that short there. Vagabond of Light says, will you address reading comprehension and Joseph Campbell's hero's journey on a deep dive stream soon? Well, I guess I'm curious. What do you mean by reading comprehension and Joseph Campbell's hero's journey? How are those two things connected? Am I missing something here? Perhaps my reading comprehension is not as good as I thought it was, because I don't understand what you're saying in that message, bro. But I don't know. Yeah. I was Warhammer curious in college. Well, look, it's time. It's time to get back into Warhammer. Rossi says, is Skeleton Crew the Filoniverse? So that's an interesting question, actually, Rossi. That's actually an interesting question. So apparently, John Watts pitched this idea to Jon Favreau when they were on set for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, there's like good and bad to that. So what's interesting about that is it means that John Watts had an idea already. Okay? And then I believe through conversations with John was like, oh, I like that idea. We could fit that into what we are doing. Right? And so then it kind of gets brought in to the Filoniverse. So is it a Filoniverse thing? I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It does have some of the pirates that were in The Mandalorian Season 3. So I guess so. But if it freaking sucks, maybe they will not be into it. Look, I'm going to give it a fair shot. I want to judge it on the merits of what it actually presents as an episode. By the way, chat, are they doing multiple episodes for the release of that? I'm not really sure. I'm going to give it a fair shake, on the merits of whatever it puts out. But I will tell you that there is a little bit of baggage surrounding the show. I know that the production had a lot of issues. I know that they were kind of rushing the production. I know that there were some internal screenings where it didn't go super great. But then again, it's like, what does that even mean with Lucasfilm? You know, their internal screenings have thought that, like, The Last Jedi was going to be a masterpiece. I've talked about this before, but it is truly fascinating. And someday, for a watch party, we should really watch. There's a documentary that came out with The Last Jedi on digital release and on Blu-ray and shit. And it's a special feature, and it says The Director in The Last Jedi, I think is what it's called. And it is a fascinating documentary to watch in sort of hindsight, understanding what The Last Jedi was and the damage that it did to the Star Wars brand. The opening scene in that documentary is like at the wrap party for TLJ. And Kathleen Kennedy gets on stage and literally says, I think we all know we just did something really special. And like, they were so high on that movie. And so all I'm saying is, like, what does it mean that Lucasfilm internal testing didn't like Skeleton Crew? I don't know. Another thing that's really weird about Lucasfilm is they don't test nearly as much as Marvel. So Marvel does a lot of testing. This is actually part of why there's so many leaks. Because I believe a lot of, like, the executives and the people at Disney that get invited to these screenings, I believe they have, like, friends, family. You know, I continue to believe that some of these scoopers are like the children of executives at Disney. And so that's why you get a lot of leaks from Marvel, because they're testing this shit often. They test early, they test often. And it has proven to be a pretty successful formula for them, right? And you might be like, whoa, what about like Phase 4? What about all these things? I mean, the average quality of what Marvel puts out compared to, I would say, almost any other studio in Hollywood is still really, really high. The Infinity Saga itself does not get enough credit for putting out some serious bangers, and even its low points, having pretty watchable, pretty fun movies. Like, for instance, I kind of think that Age of Ultron, Thor: The Dark World, some of those movies are just as good, if not better, than like Venom 3, right? Like, seriously, consider that. Like, think about that. That's a pretty crazy batting average. So the Marvel's system of testing does work. I think there were other problems during Phase 4. Bandwidth of, the executive branch there. Just trying to do way too much, delegating too much, etc. But even then, some of the rumors and the reports that have come out from that time are quite interesting. Like, Kevin Feige was fighting with Chloe Zhao a lot about Eternals, and he ended up letting her win. And in hindsight, it's like, she should have just did what Kevin said. Kevin also fought with Sam Raimi about some of the more cringy parts of Multiverse Madness, like Illumawati, some of the other campy scenes. Sam Raimi really loves camp in his movies. And Kevin was literally like, bro, get this shit out of here. And they kind of fought about it, and Kevin ended up saying, okay, Sam, like, keep your campy scenes or whatever. I'm not saying that he's like completely infallible, but he is an incredible producer, and he has an incredible mind for knowing when audiences will respond to something and when they'll reject something. So it's like, that's a good system. Star Wars, on the other hand, they don't really do many screenings at all. And it's because of spoilers. Like, the culture over there, the musical notes, that wasn't Kevin's idea, but Kevin decided to make it those two songs verse each other. So when Kevin came in to see that scene, he was like, nah, it's way too much. Just make it these two incredible songs back and forth, which kind of like actually ties the fucking scene together. But no, I think the music notes was somebody else's idea. I like that scene, by the way. Are you saying you don't like that scene, Adam? Oh, what the hell? You don't like that scene? I like that scene. Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of the answer there. And it is, I mean, Lucasfilm has their own formula and their own system. It would be really interesting to see how that changes if Kathy gets out of there and if like a new culture sort of crops up, right? But to take it all the way back to Skeleton Crew, again, I'm going to try to be open about this. I'm going to try to judge it off the merits of what it produces. And I still have to acknowledge the baggage that the brand has, the baggage that I have as a fan, and some of the stuff I heard about the rushed production, about the bad test screenings. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll find out together. I think that drops in like 20 days or something like that. So we will figure that out together. Okay, well, let's now get into some main topics here, guys. I wanted to start by talking about Denzel, man. I wanted to start by talking about Denzel Washington. Okay, so you will recall over the past couple of days, we've spoken a lot about Denzel Washington because Mr. Denzel Washington came out and, he spoiled something kind of crazy, man. He spoiled something kind of crazy. Denzel Washington will be in Black Panther 3. Ryan Coogler is writing a part for Denzel Washington in Black Panther 3. Okay? Now, when I talked about this in video and on yesterday's stream, one of the things I brought up was that it seemed like Denzel was eyeing retirement, and therefore the chances of him sticking around in the MCU super freaking low. Okay? Well, that's a take that I think a lot of people kind of had, where they were like, it kind of seems like you were talking about retirement. Well, check this out. Check out this clarification here from the man himself.
I didn't say I was going to go into retirement. I said that it has to be a level of interest to me. I'm more interested in getting behind the camera.
Okay.
So that's about 5 years out.
Okay.
You know, it's very difficult, and I may have used the word retire, but I look at life in 3 sections. Okay. You learn, you earn, and you return. I'm in the return part of life.
Right.
And it's also informed by, and even the interview that I did has been informed since by me going on tour for 3 weeks with my sons and my daughters. And I really see, and now going on tour with Paul and Fred, they're taking over. Okay. You know, that I'm not retiring. It's not like, okay, on June 5th, that's it.
Yeah.
But to think I'm going to run as far as they are or as you are, I'd be a fool. And I think that's the ego that thinks that, oh, yeah, I can do it. No, you can't. No, you can't.
I wonder if he's had any conversations with Mike Tyson. Because I don't know, man. Hearing this shit's making me a little bit nervous about that Mike Tyson shit. Let's watch it one more way back.
I didn't say I was going to go into retirement. I said that it has to be a level of interest to me. I'm more interested in getting behind the camera.
Okay.
So that's about 5 years out.
Okay.
You know, it's very difficult, and I may have used the word retire, but I look at life in 3 sections. Okay. You learn, you earn, and you return. I'm in the return part of life.
Right.
And it's also informed by, and even the interview that I did has been informed since by me going on tour for 3 weeks with my sons and my daughters. And I really see, and now going on tour with Paul and Fred, they're taking over. You know, that I'm not retiring. It's not like, okay, on June 5th, that's it.
Yeah.
But to think I'm going to run as far as they are or as you are, I'd be a fool. And I think that's the ego that thinks that, oh, yeah, I can do it. No, you can't. No, you can't. Your stunt man is doing it now, you know. Yeah. So I'm less interested in running and jumping.
Yeah.
You let Paul and John David run and jump, you know, and to think, oh, I can still do it. You're a fool.
Okay, so kind of interesting. Now, look, man, when I initially heard that he wasn't retiring, I kind of got a little excited, and I was like, oh, man, he could really be T'Challa then. You know, because the biggest barrier to him actually being T'Challa is not just age, but seemingly his retirement. You know, and again, he might have used the word retirement. Yeah, I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that he used the word retirement. Okay. Now, he's also talking about how his stunt double can do this, that, second, and third. I don't know, man. It really doesn't seem like he's going to be coming into that movie to play any kind of long-term role. Kind of seems like he's not really into, action and stuff like that. The only thing that I would say as like as sort of a caveat to this, right, is we live in a world where Hugh Jackman, who is, how old is Hugh Jackman? He's like 58, you know, he's pretty close to 60. Hugh Jackman just returned as Wolverine and maybe gave the best performance of his career as the character. And not only that, and I'm definitely not saying that this was all Hugh Jackman, but that might have been the most athletic and Wolverine-like we had ever seen that character in live action. Right? And yeah, the meme that hit till he's 90, right? Till he's 90. That's a whole thing. And, you know, we think about what might be going on in this so soft rebooted MCU, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Alex Perez had some really interesting comments about that, and I want to break those down. But I think it's possible, man. I think it's possible. T'Challa with a walker, says Delta Dan. No! Cool Bear, thanks for subscribing over on Twitch, brother. Appreciate you. Happy birthday, Shin Batty. Is it really your birthday? Damn, happy birthday, Shin Batty. So, yeah, I mean, look, the odds are he's not going to be T'Challa. But I think we do need to recognize that, you know, it's possible he's not really retiring, and you could see him doing something in the comic book thing for more than a one-off. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what's your feeling about this? Does this change anything for you? It is kind of interesting that he also talks about like his sons and his daughters. You know, we also had a sort of theory that John David Washington could potentially be T'Challa if T'Challa was recast. And you could see Denzel playing T'Chaka or like a variant of T'Chaka or something like that. So that would be kind of cool. I'm still not having a 70-year-old Blue Marvel, even though it would be canonical. Well, that's the other thing, too, is like Blue Marvel is the next pick, and you would need... I mean, you would need some stunt doubles. You would need some CGI. Blue Marvel is not just chilling. Blue Marvel is punching. Blue Marvel's flying. Blue Marvel's doing a lot of different stuff. So I don't know, man. It's funny because you see the headline, right? And it says, I didn't say I was going into retirement. I said it would be a level of interest to me. But then you hear him talk, and you're like, I don't know, bro. It still kind of sounds like retirement to me. You seem pretty tired. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. Please, for the love of God, no. Well, I mean, look, here's what we know. Ryan Coogler is writing a part for him. He said he wants to do stuff that he's never done before. He also said he wants to get like behind the camera in about 5 years. So like maybe that means not really being a big part of this Marvel franchise or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting situation. So I just wanted to update you guys. You know, not a ton here, but it seems like Denzel kind of pushing back against this idea of retirement, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and look, of course, you know, CGI, stunt doubles, peptides, TRT. You know what I mean? Like, look at Hugh Jackman, dude. Hugh Jackman's 55 years old doing shirtless scenes. You know what I mean? Again, it's, he's so jacked and cut that they're making it a part of the joke, right? So I don't know. There's options. There's interesting ways that they could take this, but I just wanted to point this out. You know, while we're here, and it doesn't have really anything to do with anything, I want to show you another clip because this might be one of the funniest clips ever.
To go watch Oppenheimer, and I watched it. I had an opportunity to go watch Oppenheimer, and I watched it in the IMAX theater where Christopher Nolan watches and screens his movies, him and Emma, his wife, and I even asked, let me sit where Chris is sitting. So they said, Chris sits here to enjoy the movie. So I sat where Chris sat. I watched Oppenheimer, it was amazing. But I was thinking, holy shit, this thing, Red One on this screen with this technology, it's gonna be game over. I had an opportunity to go watch Oppenheimer.
It's gonna be game over,
in
dude.
the IMAX theater where Christopher Nolan watches and screens his movies, him and Emma, his wife, and I even asked, let me sit where Chris is sitting. So they said, Chris sits here to enjoy the movie. So I sat where Chris sat. I watched Oppenheimer, it was amazing. But I was thinking, holy shit, this thing, Red One on this screen with this technology, it's gonna be game over.
You know, like, I almost feel like he's doing it on purpose now. I mean, dude, this movie has like a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's tracking to come in on like fucking $30 million opening, and it cost $250 million, which, by the way, why did they make a $250 million Christmas movie with The Rock and fucking Chris Evans? What is happening? And we're all like, oh, the fucking robots. I can't believe that they're going to take all the... Yeah, God willing, because no fucking large language model AI supercomputer robot overlord is going to greenlight a $250 million Christmas movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and fucking Chris Evans. Now, the other thing that's really funny about this, man, like, this shit's so funny, man. This man is literally out here saying, I sat in the same seat that Christopher Nolan sat in, and I watched Oppenheimer, and it was amazing, but I was sitting there thinking, holy shit, Red One with this technology? game over. And it's like so bad that I almost feel like he's doing it on purpose. And I almost feel like Rock is like leaning into the meme a little bit here. Because my God, dude, it's hilarious. It's so funny. But this dude and his promotion brain, like he's always cutting promos, dude. He should have fucking pulled up the sweater and said, "Oh, dude, look, hair standing on I got goosebumps for real." Like, and I think he dead ass would. Like, he's so good at hyping himself up that, like, I'm surprised he didn't start ripping down shit and breaking the chair and doing all that crazy stuff. It is hilarious, dude. We need a movie with Rock where he's like a wingman for somebody, and he's just the most hyped up, like ridiculous wingman, and leaning into it like in the way that he does promos. I thought this was absolutely amazing, man. This is crazy. Also, what's up with Red One? I saw the trailers. I thought it looked cool. Elisa and I were both like, no, let's go see that. Like, that looks interesting. Why is it doing so bad? I can't believe they spent that much money on it. But what's the deal with that? Why is this movie like bombing so badly? Like, why are people rejecting this movie? Can anybody explain that to me in chat right now? Like, does anybody know? Anybody know what's going on with this? Still probably better than Venom 3. I mean, maybe, but it ain't going to make what Venom 3 made. Yeah, I thought it looked fun. Because it's not Christmas yet? I mean, you know what they're doing, right? They're basically trying to get a little pop in the box office, and then they want it on streaming for Christmas. So it'll probably do decent numbers on streaming for Christmas. Is that potentially, when does it come out? I think it comes out this weekend, doesn't it? When does it come out, actually? That's kind of funny. The Rock is like 0 and 20. It will do great post box office. I think so too, yeah. It looks like the same movie he's been making since Jumanji. What? How? It came out today? Wow. Plus, Moana 2 will be my trip to the movies. Yeah, Moana 2 is probably going to be huge, huh? And aren't they doing a live action Moana? And isn't Rock involved in that too? All his movies are the same? Is that really what you guys think? Wow. Interesting. I liked the first trailer. I was surprised everyone hated it. Dude, same. Like, I thought it was kind of a cool idea. And also I like what's his face? J. Jonah Jameson. I like that guy. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay, well, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about The Punisher, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can pull up the whole dilly-dally here. So, yesterday, Brad Winderbaum went on a podcast. I think it's called Phase Hero now, because comicbook.com, like, fired all the people that did Phase Zero, which is, like, another thing I don't understand. So much that I don't understand about this world, you know? What a crazy world we live in, huh? But either way, Brad Winderbaum was out there talking about the future of a lot of the Marvel television characters and the stuff that's, you know, going on over there. Josh, don't see us on Twitch. What? The movie doesn't look bad, but I'm not seeing it in theaters. Yeah, I understand that's the full Brad Winderbaum interview. I don't think we need to go over the full interview. But check this out. This, I think, is actually significant because I think it's kind of badass. Brad Winderbaum confirms there is a future planned for John Bernthal's The Punisher in the MCU after Daredevil Born Again. 100%. We feel the same way. I can't wait for you to see him in this series. There is absolutely a future for him in the MCU afterwards. Okay, so super cool. And then I think on top of that, My Time to Shine did come out and say that this was a Punisher Disney Plus series. That's what Brad is referencing here, okay? So, number one, that's a W. John Bernthal as Punisher is absolutely incredible. I remember there were many times, many moments where we didn't know if John was going to come back. We didn't even know that he was actually going to come back in Daredevil for a while. Do you remember? And I think he was going to be in both versions of the show, even like the original, more Disney Plus version. But the new version of the show, I think, has even more Punisher. I'm not sure if he'll have a ton of screen time in it, but I think that he will be more involved than he was before. I heard a lot of different rumors on how this could be happening, why this could be happening. There were some rumors early on that the Purple Man and perhaps the children of the Purple Man were going to be connected to Fisk, and Fisk was going to be using that technology to manipulate people in order to become mayor, etc., etc. This was a time when Jessica Jones was potentially going to be a big MacGuffin for the show. I don't think they're doing that anymore. This show went through a lot of changes, remember? So I don't think that's what's happening anymore. But I do think Frank's going to play a substantive role in the first season of this new Daredevil show. But it's probably not going to be enough. Like, real talk. You know? It's probably not going to be enough. We're going to be like, nah, man, I need way more Frank Castle in my life. And I think that's what we're going to do. So I can see in chat, too, and I think it's worth addressing. It is a little bit of a, let's say, oxymoron to say a Punisher Disney Plus series, okay? And especially given the current reputation of Disney Plus content, that's a little tricky. However, John Bernthal himself made it very clear that he would not return to the role unless he felt he could actually do all the things needed to do the character justice. Mostly to be able to be very violent. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that some of the things that you will see Muse do in this season of Daredevil will make you understand that that is not a concern at all. Muse will do things that are more horrifying and more grotesque than Frank Castle ever did, even in the old Netflix show. You could take that to the bank. So after we see that shit, I think we're going to understand that, we're going to be a lot more open to violence and crazy stuff with Frank Castle. I think that it's also kind of timely that Frank sort of charts his future in the MCU at a time when it kind of feels like the MCU is getting back to form, understanding what fans actually want. And the Daredevil show itself is like the perfect example of that, right? I mean, it really is a show that they rebuilt. And the main North Star for rebuilding it was to give fans what they wanted. And so I don't know what the Punisher show could be. You know, no idea when that would be happening. At this point, we would have to assume it would be after Secret Wars, right? So after Secret Wars, Frank Castle, so many different things he could be doing. He could be active in New York. He could be active around the globe. I personally would love Frank to team up with another character like Hawkeye or Ronin, all kinds of really fun characters that Frank could be teamed up with. But either way you slice it, man, a like really testosterone-filled Punisher show with a ton of violence. I mean, bro, that's exactly what fans want from this character, and frankly, I think from a lot of this Disney Plus content. So I think the time is right. I'm excited that they're publicly talking about it. I can't wait for Daredevil Born Again. Oh my God. Bro, guys, where's the hype level for Daredevil Born Again? Because, I mean, frankly, for me, the hype for Daredevil Born Again is like way higher than Captain America Brave New World. And I continue to try to say, like, I'm trying to be fair here with Brave New World. I'm rooting for that movie. I'm excited to check it out. I actually think it could surprise us, right? It could surprise us. But Born Again? Bro, Born Again? Like, we might have to bring watch parties back for Born Again. You know what I mean? Born Again? Charlie Cox Daredevil? Bullseye's back? You know, like, Punisher's back? Muse? Daredevil Born Again. Oh, man. And I got such good feeling. Dude, do y'all remember where you were at when you watched the first season of Netflix Daredevil? Oh, I was so excited for it. Oh my God. And it over delivered. Oh my God. I remember binging the first season of Daredevil. And oh, just the vibes, baby. Oh man. It felt so good. Those were good times, man. Those were good times. So I'm really excited to get back into that world with those characters and explore those ideas and those themes. So there you go, chat. Kind of a nice little tidbit to come out of the interview yesterday with Brad. 100%. I can't wait for you to see him in this series, referring to Daredevil. There's absolutely a future for him in the MCU afterwards. And I think Frank's going to fuck shit up in Daredevil Born Again, to be honest with you. Guaranteed Josh disappointed with Daredevil? How dare you say that, Carl? How dare you say that, Carl? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I'm excited for it. Season 1 was good, fell off Daredevil, Netflix, universe after Jessica Jones. The second season of Daredevil is incredible, dude. It might be better than the first. The third season's iffy for me. I like Bullseye. I like what they were doing there, but it was like a little bit iffy. But that shit was dope. And you know what else was really cool? I thought Matt Murdock in the Defenders series. Defenders was like really all over the place. But Matt Murdock in Defenders was incredible. Do y'all remember when he whooped Iron Fist's ass? Where he like drops the bags and he's like, all right, bro, these hands are rated E for everybody. You're about to fuck around and find out. Do you remember that? Oh my God, bro. Incredible action sequence. He whooped his ass. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. So, there's your updates about Punisher. I think that's pretty cool. Now, there was a few like little things that they also talked about in the Brad Winterbaum interview, like some stuff about Wonder Man being 8 episodes, stuff about Ironheart having a practical suit and everything like that. But I don't think any of that stuff really moves the needle for me. But yeah. Bro, did you know Karen Page, actor in real life, is dating a blind guy? I did not know that. You'll love to see it. Yeah. All right, you guys ready to shift into some crazy multiversal Council of Reeds, bizarro craziness here? You ready to talk about some wild shit? Are you ready to talk about some wild shit, chat? We watch Warhammer videos that are long. Oh, man. Yeah. No, but we're not watching that, though. Okay, so Q&A here from Alex Perez. Couple of interesting things going on. I'm really not interested in the Captain Carter stuff, although I think Captain Carter might be in Secret Wars, to be honest. Legacy of Tony Stark in Doom or in Armor Wars, whatever. But here's some really interesting things. So let's focus on this one first, okay? So the question is, hey, Alex, any surprise team-up / pairings you are hearing for Avengers Doomsday? I'm going to let you in on a pairing. I've heard rumored for a while now, and it's made its way already on social media, but there is credence to the rumor that Scarlet Witch being paired with Doctor Doom for Doomsday. But I do want to clarify that this isn't some weird marriage scenario like in the comics. Wanda's goal will be to try and undo the mistakes she made whilst using the Darkhold. This is going to be all about her redemption arc. Okay, so let's stop there for a second because I think this is kind of interesting. Number one, let me just ask you guys, do you think Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom will be lovers? Or no? Do you want that? Do you like it? Do you not care? How do you feel about that? Isn't Armor Wars dead? So according to Alex, Armor Wars is not dead, actually. It's going to be adapted for after the Multiversal Saga, probably. But he's saying, just like Blade, it's not dead. I want it. I like it. No, it would be weird. The mistake she made, killing Tommy and Billy, I mean, that's one of them. It's needed. Sorry, Vision. Oh, damn, that's true. He's going to stick it in her Darkhold, says Adam. Okay, anybody else? I want Wanda to be happy, says Aaliyah. Oh, okay, there you go. The casuals will be confused. You think so? Feige doesn't want to take the risk with everything that happened emotionally in the Infinity Saga. Oh, interesting take. Interesting take. Interesting. Nice idea, but super risky. Is it risky? Just kidding. So, a couple of things going on here. First of all, I don't think he's necessarily disputing that there will be romantic feelings there, but what he is saying is there's not going to be a weird marriage thing, which is fine. I mean, you know, the marriage thing in the comics was, it was kind of interesting. It was really used as shock value for the reader. And I think what Alex is saying is, like, they're not going to, like, oh shit, they're getting married and it happens tomorrow and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, that's not what's going to be happening. It'll probably be just as shocking that Wanda would work with Doctor Doom and be teamed up with Doctor Doom. So that's going to be... Rossi says, I want Doctor Doom to be happy. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. Woo! So I think that we could be getting maybe a little bit of both. And what I mean by that is I think it is possible that Doctor Doom will have romantic feelings for the Scarlet Witch, but possibly not even our Scarlet Witch. Remember that there are many different Wandas. She's all throughout the multiverse. You know, maybe she's a Nexus being, maybe not. And there's all sorts of prophecies about her. Now, we know that when Wanda was looking over the multiverse, there were tons of universes where she's just happily with her children. Okay? And so I think it's possible that RDJ would have a connection, a romantic interest in Wanda, but not our Wanda. Would our Wanda in turn have romantic feelings for Doctor Doom? It's like, I kind of doubt it, especially if he looks like Tony Stark. However, Doom is likely going to have exactly what Wanda wants. And we've talked about this before, right? But it's this monkey paw sort of thing that Doom seems to be doing. You know, a couple of weeks back, Alex dropped an article and he was suggesting that Tom Holland's Spider-Man, in the wake of having his life torn apart, where, you know, nobody remembers who he is, He lost his girlfriend, lost his best friend, lost everything, but he's still Spider-Man. But he doesn't remember being Peter Parker. Other people don't remember him being Peter Parker. Like, he's at a loss, and he doesn't really... He's very lonely. And so I think Doom, like what Alex was kind of implying, is that Doom will offer up to Tom Holland's Spider-Man the opportunity to undo that, to have a new life that undoes the mistakes that he made. Well, it kind of seems like that same thing will be offered to Wanda, right? Because, what Alex is saying here is Wanda's goal will be to try to undo the mistakes she made whilst using the Darkhold. This is going to be all about her redemption arc, right? So just like Spider-Man, it seems like she might be offered an opportunity to recreate reality, and in this new reality, she never used the Darkhold. She never spaghettied Reed Richards, she never did all those horrible things. She never created and then killed her own children, all that. So you can see how that would be really attractive to her. And look, I'll just say from my perspective, I'm not so attached to the idea of them being lovers that I'm going to be disappointed if there's no romantic thing there. I think it could be cool either way that RDJ's Doom offers Wanda redemption in the form of a new universe. That's pretty interesting. So I think that's compelling. I think putting those two characters together is really compelling. I think putting those two actors together is really compelling. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is an incredible actor, but I think Elizabeth Olsen is really good too. Really good. Incredible range. So that's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to bring that up, and kind of go over it a little bit. Now, some people are saying oh, she's going to be on a redemption thing. I don't really think so, guys. I think at the end of the day, just like Spider-Man, she's probably going to take the easy way out and then probably have to be brought back to the light, probably by her kids and Vision and others. You know what I mean? There's also this whole idea of Wanda past Secret Wars being a part of the mutant saga and the mutant phenomenon. So that's kind of interesting right there. Now, this whole thing right here has caused a lot of confusion because another pairing that he finds interesting is Doctor Strange and Clea in the Dark Dimension. He's been investigating for a while, and he's curious to see the reaction of the Earth 616 heroes when they see Strange next, because by all accounts and purposes, Stephen Strange has been gone 2 whole years by the time we reach Doomsday. He's left the Sanctum unguarded as well. He certainly didn't tell Wong where he was going, so that's going to be a reunion I'm very much looking forward to. Now, other people have kind of pushed back on this and said, Alex, what are you talking about? That was 2024 in Multiverse of Madness. Unless Doomsday takes place, very far in the future, it can't possibly be 2 years. And Alex kind of pushed back talking about the Dark Dimension and how similar it is to the quantum realm, where time basically works differently. And in fact, there is no time in the Dark Dimension. So one of the things that I think is kind of cool, and one of the reasons I would love for Doctor Strange 3, I'm still kind of holding out hope that Doctor Strange 3 could be greenlit and happen before Doomsday, is yo, if time doesn't exist, Steven could have been doing for years and years this whole multiversal romp. This could be years of Steven growing more powerful, destroying other universes, messing around with the Black Priest. It could be years of him trying to beat Rabam Alal. There's really interesting things that you could tap into there, but we don't really have a lot of answers as for how that goes. Now, I feel pretty strongly that whatever direction they go, maybe they do Doctor Strange 3, maybe they just take that plot and put it into Doomsday. Yeah, Raimi was. Yes. Raimi's attached to be directing Doctor Strange 3. Yeah. So I think you're getting that story either way with Stephen Strange, the Black Priest, Clea, and Doctor Doom. You're getting that story either way. Wanda could be involved in that story as well. I just don't know whether or not you'll be getting it in Doomsday or you'll be getting it in Doc Strange 3. Right? So who knows? Who knows for sure? Who knows for sure? But there's some other really interesting things that are teased here. This one's kind of interesting. So the question is, will the TVA be in Avengers Doomsday? The TVA feels too powerful to continue existing aligned with the protagonist. Having a group of that powerful to me seems to almost defeat the purpose of the Avengers. Listen to this answer here. Quite interesting. The TVA is not as powerful as they'd want you to think. It will be an interesting location / set piece for a couple of scenes they plan to do. Wow. So they're not as powerful as they'd want you to think. Okay, interesting, man. Is Doom and Doom's Illuminati going to come in there and shit on everybody? Wouldn't that be kind of awesome? I was kind of already on this mindset as well, because I think like tapping into outer versal power would put you at the very least on the level of the TVA, if not well past the level of the TVA. Right? The TVA is all in a spaceship. Could be. Either way, I think it's all... I mean, think about what the TVA is, right? It's a bunch of technology, either some celestial or a lot of like Kang technology. It's a ton of variants from dead universes. And it's got a story's Loki outside of time, at the end of time, holding everything together on, you know, that rock and that throne, which I still think is celestial technology. But that's, I mean, they're not... There's no, like, real heavy hitters in there, right? You know what I mean? I mean, think about how easily Cassandra Nova, like, showed up, was fucking their shit up, took over their weapon, you know? If Cassandra Nova can do that, what could Doctor Doom do? He could absolutely obliterate them. You know? Jareth, right now... It seems like the two movies in between Doomsday and Secret Wars are actually Spider-Man 4 and Blade, believe it or not. I know that seems crazy, but that's kind of what it's seeming like. Okay. So he talks about some of the, and actually this is where Alex says this. So he says Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Blade, Wonder Man, and Ironheart have the task of setting up major players involved in Avengers Doomsday. So what that means is like Blade is with Dane Whitman. Blade is setting up the Midnight Suns. And so Blade and Dane Whitman and the Midnight Suns will be doing some like supernatural, spooky stuff. And then that's where they will be in Doomsday. So I kind of feel like they will be active in Doomsday. Not confirmed, but like that's, you know, according to Alex and according to some other people, like that's what's happening. There's a third movie in between, Josh. You forgot. It's the Rey movie. God damn it, Star Wars Sith. We're having a nice Marvel stream over here. We don't need to speak no Star Wars, see no Star Wars, hear no Star Wars. You understand? I try to be real chill. I'm watching Skeleton Crew. By the way, are you excited for Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Sith? Because I'm watching it. I wasn't going to, but chat convinced me I have to be chill. Jareth, I totally agree with you. I'm just telling you, as best as I know, the answer to your question. Like, think about what I'm saying. They have some slots that they're not going to use, basically. I suffer, you suffer. It wouldn't be the first time that Disney gave a slot to Sony either. The No Way Home slot was originally slated for a different Marvel movie, and they gave it over there. This has happened before. Who is Ironheart and Wonder Man setting up? I mean, you know, check this out. Probably Ironheart and Wonder Man. Like, I know that seems crazy, but I think the Ironheart show will end up setting up where Ironheart is at. And I think maybe the Wonder Man show is going to set up where Wonder Man's at. All right, moving right along. This is a really interesting question here. Hi, Alex. Hope you're doing well. Are there any Marvel legacy characters, your Tobey Maguire, your Wesley Snipes, your Nick fucking Cage, returning to Avengers Doomsday? He gives a really long-winded answer here, okay? So buckle up. There have been conversations and ideas about practically all Marvel Legacy characters. But the important thing here is to not bring them in for the sake of small one-and-done cameo appearances, and that's a very big part of why they are so selective with the appearances of these characters. Kevin Feige and co. want these characters to serve a purpose and actually have some action to them. A story to tell, if you will. Well, I don't like stories, so whatever. No matter how short it may be, and you can see it in their previous executions. If you look back at the appearances all the way from Spider-Man No Way Home, Multiverse Madness, The Marvels, and even Deadpool Wolverine, the appearance of these legacy characters served a purpose to the story. Marvel Studios honored their past and gave them some moments to shine. That's the spirit and the driving force behind these legacy appearances. They have to serve a purpose in the story. Okay? Now, this next part is like why the thumbnail is the way that it is. It is pretty freaking crazy. I'm excited. Check this out. But that's like a massive side answer. So to answer your question, yes, you can expect legacy appearances in both Doomsday and Secret Wars. Now, what that means is Doomsday will likely have some legacy characters, which is really cool. I think maybe Deadpool and Wolverine. I think maybe some like Thanos, maybe Ultron, like some of the, like if we really do get the Cabal or like Doom's Illuminati or whatever, I would expect some of those characters. But this part's pretty wild. If I were to add one more suggestion for a possible legacy appearance that could serve purpose to the story, a council of Reeds featuring Ion Gufrid, Miles Teller, John Krasinski, and maybe even Alex Hyde White, along with other actors rumored to be up for the role like Adam Driver, could show up at some point in the near future. Now, a lot of people took this to mean that they would be in Secret Wars. He's not actually saying that. He said at some point in the new future. Okay? Now, what's crazy about that is long-standing rumors that the Council of Reeds would be a part of the Fantastic Four movie. The first production name for the movie was Solve Everything Productions. And if you guys were there, we went over Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four earlier this year. We did a deep dive on that. And that's the story. It's literally called Solve Everything. It was like a 6-part story or something. And it's all about Reed and Reed's father and Reed's children and other Reed Richards. So he invents this thing called the bridge. And he uses the bridge to find a council made up of a ton of Reed Richards variants. And they are working throughout the multiverse to like solve all the multiversal problems. One of the kind of like really sinister and interesting things that they do is they have this concept known as the farm, where they're like farming all of these planets and then taking it throughout the multiverse to like feed starving planets and stuff like that. And then they have this thing, I think they call it like the underground or like the prison or something, the vault maybe. And they literally have all kinds of Doctor Dooms. They go throughout the multiverse and they say, And you know what else is really crazy is the Reed Richards that makes this call is actually related to Doctor Doom. He literally says, I've got a little doom in me. And I understand him in a way that none of you ever will. He is an incredible threat to the multiverse. So they go around and they grab up all of these Doctor Dooms. And they have them all lobotomized in a basement. And Reed's like, this is wrong. And they're like, yeah, it's a necessary wrong, though. Right? Pretty crazy. So, let's talk about this. This is crazy. So, imagine seeing a Council of Reeds, which another thing, too, is like, so we have the bit from Charles Murphy, right? So, back in the day, you had, the Solve Everything Productions. I just explained to you what the comic book ramifications of that are. But beyond that, how many different actors were rumored to be attached to the role of Doctor Doom? Why don't you guys list some of them in chat? I know that Adam Driver is one of them. Who else? We went on this roller coaster ride together. We were on this for 2+ years. There were so many different people rumored to be attached to the role of Reed Richards. Who else? I remember Penn Bagley. Dev Patel. Vigo. Was Vigo really attached? Josh Hartnett was, yeah. Megan Fox, absolutely. Killian. John David Washington. Andrew Lincoln. I think that was just some of you in here. Gary Busey. Mila Kunis. No! Unfortunately, that was actually for the thing. Matt Smith. Yeah, that's a good one. Jake Gyllenhaal. Adrian Brody, I believe, was, yeah. Gosling? Was Gosling really attached? Really? I don't remember that. So, I mean, guys, that's a lot of people, right? Remember when My Time to Shine said, it's done. Adam Driver is our Reed Richards. Do you remember that? Look, man, here's the truth. She holds a lot of L's for sure. She's gotten a lot of stuff wrong. But what if she wasn't wrong on that one? Gosling was attached to Doom. True. What if she wasn't wrong on that one? Isn't it kind of crazy that she was so confident that Adam Driver was signed? And isn't it really interesting that Alex name drops Adam Driver showing up? And look, this is not a novel idea. It's not new. When all this was coming out, many different people, a lot of people in our community, myself, many others thought, okay, well, maybe they're actually casting the Council of Reeds. Like, we used to talk about it a lot more back in the day. And in fact, you could probably find a thumbnail from over a year ago on the streaming channel where we were talking about that. We were talking about a Council of Reeds. Right? So it kind of seems like that could actually be happening. This is the first time that any insider has hinted at this being real. at this being real. I love Ian Goofred. I've heard a lot of rumors about him being involved, possibly as the maker or something like that. That's pretty interesting. Miles Teller. Many of us believe that Miles Teller would be the perfect maker, right? He kind of has the actual origin of the maker, because the 2015 Fantastic Four was like very different than going out into the cosmic ray stuff. It was almost like the Negative Zone and like the stuff there, which is similar to Ultimate's Reed Richards, Ultimate Fantastic Four, right? Miles Teller, by the way, really, really good actor. We'd be lucky to have him. John Krasinski. I mean, imagine if John Krasinski... do you guys remember I made a video a long time ago about how all the members of 838's Illuminati could still be alive? Because he still has the time stone, Mordo, and he makes it out, right? So with the time stone or the time gem, Mordo could literally just go into the spaghettified body, much like Thanos did with Vision. He could go over to that spaghettified body and go and put them back together. And man, wouldn't that be interesting? How pissed do you think that guy would be after the Scarlet Witch popped his fucking dome? I mean, he'd be pretty upset, you know what I mean? So that could be really, really cool. Now, let's think about the Fantastic Four movie. I'm going to get into a little bit of the rumors here. I mean, maybe we shouldn't get too crazy. Maybe that's stuff we should save for a video. But I just would find it really interesting. Like, what role would the Council of Reeds be playing here? You know? I mean, if it is 838 Reed, he's already aware of incursions. Now he's aware of the threat of the Scarlet Witch. I mean, what if, because I kind of have this theory, I've said it before, that Victor Von Doom in that universe with Reed, maybe what really opens his eyes to the multiversal stuff is the fact that they come for the Scarlet Witch. Well, who comes for her? Well, if it's John Krasinski's Reed from 838 and he forms up a Council of Reeds, they might come in and they might take her out. Like either lobotomize her, either take her away or depower her or something. Way too many Reeds. I don't know. I don't know if I agree. Yeah, so what? Okay, so put yourself in the shoes of Victor. Okay, and then maybe like in this universe, he's learning magic from the Scarlet Witch. They're down together. They have a good life, etc. And then all of a sudden, the Council of Reeds pops up and steals his lady. Wouldn't that be epic as shit, bro? Because think about it. We're all sitting back and we're like, oh, man, it's kind of a bummer that we're not going to get Doom versus Reed. Well, hello. If this happens, it's possible Victor is like, yeah, Mustache Reed, he's a little bitch boy. I'm not really worried about him. But these motherfuckers, these other Reeds that came in here and stole my lady, I'm going after their ass. And then maybe he pops up and eliminates the whole Council of Reeds, bro. And maybe liberates some Doctor Doom variants. There are rumors established that the Nip Tuck guy that played Doctor Doom in the OG 2015 stuff, they have a plan for him. They have a plan for him. I don't know that they will execute on it. It's probably on a whiteboard somewhere. But they are interested in using that character. Could this also be why we have not seen a lot of Doctor Dooms in the multiverse so far? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying here, chat? So I think this could be absolutely fascinating, man. I'm really interested. And if that's like a part of the Fantastic Four, like, dude, I keep telling you guys, the Fantastic Four movie is kind of seeming like it's going to be bananas. Bananas. And really cool. Really cool, man. So we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see what comes of that. And also, too, remember, in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, the Maker is on Battleworld with Reed Richards. The Maker helps the Resistance to overcome God Emperor Doom. A lot of people forget about that. But that's what happened. Okay, I think that's all I want to discuss on that one. Now let's get into some of the new stuff. This was dropped yesterday. Okay, so let's address the Blade thing first. We'll talk about this a little bit too, okay? There's been 3 years since we were introduced to Dane Whitman in Eternals. What do you see happening with the character? Dane's goal right now is to try to find and save Cersei. But he's desperate and has no idea what to do, which is what leads to the post-credit scene in Eternals. Where does his story go from here? Last I heard, Dane is meant to team up with Blade on the road to Midnight Suns and help him train with the Ebony Sword. Ebony Blade, but Blade, Ebony Blade. Okay, so he can become Black Knight. This also ties into what I was talking about earlier of Marvel Studios' interest in telling stories with characters from across the pond. Okay. Now, up here, he's just talking about how crazy Muse is. Muse is going to be real crazy, bro. That shit's going to be wild. In this part here, he's kind of corroborating what Daniel said about RDJ's Doctor Doom. By the way, I actually don't agree with this, and I also don't think anybody knows for sure what is happening post-Secret Wars. But he says, I don't really have an answer for you on that, but I don't think RDJ Doom will stick around for long. That's just speculation. Doom might come back with the reset, but I suspect it'll be a new actor. They won't use Doom for a bit. Again, all just speculation. Don't take that as a scoop. Now we get into some kind of interesting shit here. Fantastic Four. Will Doctor Doom have any role in Fantastic Four First Step, even as a reference or perhaps presence being felt, or can you really not expect more than a post-credit scene? Can't comment on that just yet. I think that means you're getting a little bit more of Doom than maybe we originally thought, but they're being very, very tight-lipped about that. We know that Galactus is the main villain of the Fantastic Four, but will there be any other big names? The Fantastic Four's rogue gallery may appear, like Mole Man, Namor, Annihilus. Josh don't want to believe it. What, you mean like of a lack of Doctor Doom? Josh skipped the Kang part? Oh, you want me to talk about the Kang part? Holy. Okay, here's the Kang stuff. Okay, here we go. Kang stuff. As far as Kang, it's Jover. Get that Kang out of my face. Okay, crazy. I can't believe Alex would say that. He stole my line. Okay, moving right along. Hi, Alex. Since you... here. Funnily enough, the film's first act has sort of a rapid montage of the Fantastic Four going up against multiple low-level villains from their repertoire of rogues. Mole Man is one of them. Okay, so that's kind of fun, right? You got a little montage of them taking out all the small villains at the beginning of the movie. That's going to be chill. Here's an interesting question. Since you said after Secret Wars there will be a soft reboot of sorts, does that mean characters like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men will be merged into the main timeline? If so, will their history be retconned into the timeline, or will they essentially be foreigners thrust into a new land? This is like, we've actually been talking about this exact thing a little bit. Check out this answer he gives here. I don't really understand how it's going to work just yet. I think it's just going to be a new continuity and new iteration of the universe where it all starts from scratch, but not really. Sounds like James Gunn there. Really, really clear answer. Like, if I had to explain what I was told previously, it's like nothing happened. And they will continue on with their lives. But something did happen. A new iteration of the multiverse exists, and some changes will be added in which we have ramifications later on. I wouldn't be surprised if no one remembered what happened except a few characters like Doctor Strange or Deadpool. Yeah. So, let's try to break this down. This is pretty heady. This is pretty weird, but I think we can come up with a couple ways this could work. I understand this entirely. Oh, shit. Well, I'll shut up then. Can you tell the class? Can you explain it to us? Can you explain? Can you explain? We're going to wait on an explanation here. Franklin and his family may be strange like Deadpool something. What? How do I teach these kids? Exactly, dude. Exactly. Why won't they recast the entire cast? This will be confusing for audiences. Well, I gotta tell you, this paragraph's a little confusing. The universe will pick up after Secret Wars as normal. Characters like Cap and whoever will think this is how time always was. Characters like Strange and Deadpool will remember. Okay, well, that kind of makes sense, actually. So let's read what Alex says again. If I had to explain what I was told previously, it's like nothing happened, and they will continue on with their lives. But something did happen. So I guess my question would be, for whom is it like nothing happened? Oh, Joshua. Great name. For whom is it like nothing happened? Like everybody? So now, like, the entire history of the X-Men continuity, roughly speaking, happened on 616? I think it's obvious that we could say all of the 616 characters, like, nothing happened. So Doomsday just doesn't happen. Everybody's just chilling. Like, I wonder if, like, Cap and Bucky are like, yo, the leader told me that something big was happening, and that shit never happened. This dude's a liar, you know? That'd be kind of funny. Will that really work? Like, we're all going to just act like nothing happened? Like, would that work? So then, as an audience member, what am I supposed to believe happened? Like, is the entire continuity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe before that irrelevant? Okay, so let's read on. It's like nothing happened, and they will continue on with their lives. Well, I understand them just continuing on with their lives, right? Yeah, I mean, that's another question. Does that mean Iron Man is back? So, but I don't think so, right? Because they said they were not going to touch that moment. They were not going to touch Tony Stark dying, sacrificing himself for Earth. So it's like nothing happened, but everything that happened before happened? You want to go home and rethink your life. It's a reboot, but is it though? I'm actually starting to lean in the opposite direction of what Alex thinks. I'm actually starting to think that the mutants all coming into our universe as refugees might be a plot point, not a plot hole. What do you guys think? You're waiting on a train. What if Alex is quoting sources, though? Well, I'm absolutely certain that he is. But he says, if I have to explain it like I was told previously, it was like nothing happened. They will continue on with their lives, but something did happen. A new iteration of the multiverse exists, and some changes will be added in which will have ramifications later on. I wouldn't be surprised if nobody remembered what happened except for a few characters like Doctor Strange and Deadpool. So that last part is speculation. And what he was told, he was probably told, because here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? This soft reboot was always a plan, even when they were doing Kang. So even when they were doing Kang, the plan was a soft reboot. Do you remember, like, way back in the day, Paul had that scoop that, like, Secret Wars was going to make Tom Hardy's Venom exist in the same universe as our universe? For some characters, you can actually just say they were out of the limelight, right? So like Eddie Brock, you could say Eddie Brock was always around. He just wasn't seen in any of the movies, like our Eddie Brock, right? But the X-Men? The mutants? I don't know about that. Like, how are we going to go from Namor, Miss Marvel, and, like, isn't there potentially a mutant maybe in Brave New World and shit like that? So we're going to go from Namor and Miss Marvel to an entire mutant saga? Yeah, no, Jareth, I totally understand that. I totally get it. But if that's the case, then like then the history of the Marvel, like, it can't be that nothing happened. Like, mutants had to have always been around. Like, how old is Wolverine? Do you know what I mean? I'm actually leaning in the opposite direction. I actually think that the whole world might understand what happened. And I'm starting to think that mutants themselves being in our universe will be an extra added layer to why everybody hates them. Because, like, right now in comics, right, the traditional answer for me, and by the way, this is some straight fire ass shit. I might do a whole video on this. This is really interesting. But technically speaking, if they want to go cosmic with the mutants and the X-Men, and they want to attach it to the Eternals, and they want to attach it to the Deviants and the Celestials and shit like that, right? If you know, in comics, the explanation is like the mutants pop up. Everybody just hates them because they're like, oh, they're super unpredictable. Anybody could be a mutant. You could turn it into a mutant, which I still think will be part of it, right? But man, what an interesting angle to add to the fact that they are refugees from another universe. So like let me just say it to you like this. Like, what if after this big conflict, I told you guys, like, I don't know, how many mutants are there? Like 6 million? Maybe more? What if I told you 6 million super powered people from a different universe are now living in this world? Would that not put you at a level of dis-ease? Like, would that not be a little sus? Would you not have mixed feelings about that? I don't know. I think it could be pretty cool. Now, I'm not saying that that's 100%. Randon's like, then I would have voted for Trump. Look, I'm not saying 100% that's what's happening. Also, Alex has very good sources. He heard this from somebody. That is something that's real, right? Things change. I'm just saying, like, man, I don't know about this. I am personally starting to think that the soft reboot might not be something that just happens and then everybody's like, oh, this is how it's always been. Now, that can work. That could be cool. And you can introduce interesting elements like certain characters remembering Secret Wars, a lot of characters not remembering Secret Wars. Totally get it, right? But I actually think, particularly when it comes to the mutants, I think this is a better way to go. I think this is a better way to go. So, I don't know. Kind of interesting. And then finally, let's end on this. Not a ton to it, but it is nonetheless pretty cool that Alex is continuing to report this. He's asking about World War Hulks and all that stuff, and he says, I haven't been able to corroborate the rumor just yet, waiting to hear back, but the rumor involved Maestro appearing soon. Holy shit. Maestro Hulk? Holy shit. Maestro Hulk? Let's go. And then he says, what is the next version of Hulk, Bruce Banner, after Smart Hulk, likely to see the light of day in live action? Savage Hulk, Joe Fixit, Green Scar. And he says, Maestro. Woo! Holy! Now that is some hyped up shit. Maestro Hulk's absolute savage. I mean, Maestro Hulk is literally almost as cool as Doctor Doom. Like, real talk. I love that variant. I love that character. Future Imperfect is a great story. He's been used in other great stories. Super cool shit, man. So I'm kind of hyped up and excited for that. I think Maestro Hulk's going to pop up on 616, and he's going to kick the dog shit out of regular Hulk, out of Red Hulk, out of She-Hulk, out of Scar. Any hulked out motherfucker on 616 is getting dragged, getting absolutely obliterated by the Maestro Hulk. Let's fucking go. Eric Bana? No, they'll do Mark Ruffalo. I would assume they're gonna do Mark Ruffalo. I think you're gonna get evil versions of a lot of the OGs, the OG Avengers. Mole Man versus Doctor Doom. Oh, yeah, that'll be super cool. That'll be sick, dude. Oh, man, I can't wait for that shit. So I think that is going to be awesome. I think that's going to be sick. Sentry might stand a chance. Sentry might stand a chance, but then, what's he going to do against King Thanos, you know? Oh, man, I'm so excited. So like that's all stuff that's like very cool to me, man. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Very excited about that stuff. So yeah, any other thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, and also any other news out there? Did My Time to Grift release her Spider-Man scoop yet? Did she release the Spider-Man? The power scaling is getting up there in Marvel. That is true. That is true. Did you say any nudes out there? Yeah, are there any nudes out there, guys? Any nudes we should be breaking down on stream? Live for everyone to see? Whoa, this is kind of crazy. Disney Plus added 4.4 million new subscribers this quarter. Bob Iger mentions Agatha all along as one of the reasons. Wow, dude. That's crazy, dude. That show's so much more successful than Penguin. It's wild. Good for them. Let's see. Anything else out there? Some Star Wars news. We can skip right past it. Josh, do you think they're trying to line up Miles' animated movies with Secret Wars? It's possible, yeah. Sydney Sweeney is based. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's not just based. She's very brilliant as far as like a business perspective, man. She's playing the game on another level. I have a lot of respect for Sydney Sweeney, man. Good for her. BS alert. What? P.O. Box No Ranch. Say what? I was watching the Agatha making of, and it's really good. Oh, I'm sure it's pretty good. I'm sure it's pretty good. Okay, so I wasn't necessarily going to bring this up because I'm trying to be less petty. You know, I'm trying to be more professional over here, right? But I did just want to bring up the fact that James Gunn is an absolute asshole. Check this out. I want to show you something. Did you guys see?
I was given a choice of which suit I wanted to wear, and I went straight for the Man of Steel suit. That one holds the most nostalgia for me and the most meaning. And to put that back on and stand there in front of a mirror, suited up again, the suit holds a special power, and there's no way of getting around that, even if you're the one wearing it. And to see myself standing back in that suit is a meaningful moment. It's difficult to describe. Many years hoping, planning, striving, doing everything I can to get back into it, and then finally be able to get back into it. It meant a lot, and it's something that I won't quickly forget.
Okay, so that's Henry Cavill talking about putting the suit back on, the Man of Steel suit back on for Black Adam. Okay, so here's something that stupid-ass, spiky-haired, white-haired freak James Gunn said. Somebody was asking, this was in response to, I forget this Tom guy's name. It was one of the actors that was up for Superman. And it was asked if the suit was destroyed, if this story was true. So he says, yes, Tom messed it up. And then Corrin Sweat came in, and he was way too tall, so it just got torn to shreds. Speaking of the Man of Steel suit. By the way, Tom is truly one of my favorite actors. Incredibly talented guy. Right on. So, the amount of disrespect you have shown the previous DCEU actors, particularly Henry Cavill has been absolutely ridiculous. Why is it you have such disdain for Cavill? You guys remember this? Yeah. And I was right, of course. And if you don't think James, chronically online James Gunn, who's constantly searching his own name on social media platforms, if you don't think James Gunn knows exactly what he's saying here by ripping Henry Cavill's suit to shreds and talking about how he did that in his fittings, then, well, I disagree with you. So he continues to be the little prick that he is. And, yeah, he's literally out here talking about tearing Henry Cavill's suits to shreds. So, look, again, we're not going to be super petty about it. You know, we're not going to get hung up on it. But I was right. I was right. And look, here's the thing about Henry Cavill. I've heard he's actually pretty difficult to work with because he doesn't like Hollywood bullshit and he likes source material and fans. That's crazy. In that town, that is, I mean, that's a real quick way to get on people's bad side, right? So Henry Cavill's the GOAT. Henry Cavill's my Superman. I was right when I said it. I'm right today. He does not like Henry Cavill. And I'm almost certain that Henry Cavill doesn't like him. So I wanted to bring something up to you guys, you know, just something really sweet and nice, just so that you can kind of have the vantage point of how this is all going down. And, you know, I mean, I don't know, like maybe James is confused as to why almost everything he puts out as far as promotion for Superman is met with a divided fan base. But as I continue to say, he divided it, you know, and he did a really bad job on that transition. I'm still going to give the Superman movie a fair shot. I think that, you know, James Gunn is a good filmmaker, and I think that he could make a great Superman movie with David Corenswet. But it's like crazy. Like he's literally still out here making comments that, like, at the very least is just, you know, if he can't see how that's disrespectful or how that's going to upset fans, then I think he's just very daft. But I don't think he's that daft. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think he said it specifically to upset certain people that have been critical of him online. It's not a pissing contest. You shouldn't be in the mud like the rest of us. You should just be being professional, and you should be just making the movie, dude. So, yeah. Anyway, any thoughts, questions, concerns? How is that disrespectful? Wait, what are you asking me? How is it disrespectful to talk about how another actor's Superman suit was torn to shreds? Is that what you're really asking me, Indiana Jake? What's your reading comprehension level at? Just out of curiosity. I feel like the guy in The Departed. I got a question. How fucked up are you? You can't see it? You can't see it. Not even 24 hours before you broke the petty isn't content rule. That's true. That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm about to break all the rules on this motherfucker too, just so you know. Yeah, real good guy over there. Can I explain? No, Chris, can't do it. Can't do it, brother. Can't explain it any better than I already have. If you don't understand what the fuck I am talking about, you are either choosing not to see it or you're trolling me. And either way, knock it off. Hey, Josh, what movie are we watching today? I don't know. Maybe Man of Steel. Maybe I'll do a watch party for Man of Steel. Holy shit. Holy shit. Did he delete his tweet? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. I don't really know. I doubt it. You're legitimately confused? Send me a DM. We can work this out in the DMs. Josh, you need a bureau? Yeah, I need about 30 bureaus. I need about 30 bureaus. Rossi says, I don't know if it's just me. Your autofocus is off. Is it off? Might just be you. I don't know. I thought Gunn was on Threads only. No, man. No, he's not on Threads. I mean, I think he is on Threads, but he's also on Twitter still. He's still on the Twitters. All right, let me catch up on some chats that I missed, and then we're going to call it there. Unless there's anything else. Anything else going on? Anything else out there that we should be talking a bit? All right, let me see if I missed anything here. Rossi. Oh, you know what? Vagabond of Light. You never, explained what you were talking about there. Larold says, just join. What were you saying about Franklin? I have a video coming out about Franklin later today. And I talk a lot about Franklin in that video. Fandolf says, in the culture, we elect Coleman Domingo for the role of Blue Marvel. That dude sounds familiar. He definitely sounds familiar. Was he the guy that played, No, that was Aldous Hodge. Yeah, I'd have to look that guy up in the role of Blue Marvel, just in case Denzel want to retire. The man can act his ass off. Somebody hit him up. Coleman Domingo. I've definitely heard the name. Let me look him up. Oh, yeah. Okay. This guy was rumored. This guy was attached to something else recently. Was he not? I feel like he was recently attached to something else. And we were like, oh, he'll be good at that. Oh, it was Kang. Everybody wanted him to replace Kang, but, they're not going to replace Kang because it's Joe over. You see the first trailer for Amateur? No, I didn't see it. They're not married. They just want to do hand stuff. Oh, that sounds fun. Austin says, Acolyte Season 2 all the way. Trust. Holy shit. It's kind of depressing. We've seen 2 F4 members in fight scenes so far, and they both got washed. That is actually true. Wow, I didn't think of that. That's wild. Joshua Kemble Bluegrass says, when whoever said Doom is going to stick it in her Darkhold and Josh hit that crazy sound effect, I burst out laughing so hard I nearly passed the fuck out. Yeah, that was Adam. Elliot says, I'm glad Marvel seems to be pivoting from their Phase 4 thinking, but I'm concerned with them still moving forward with unpopular characters. Thoughts? I'm a little concerned with that too. And I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing in this next year is probably not going to help their case or quell our concerns, really. But I think it's just a wait and see thing. I mean, we got some signaling from Bob Iger that they were going to focus on their stronger franchises. I think X-Men particularly affords them the opportunity to even do a little bit more of obscure X-Men, but through a big franchise, whether that's X-Men, X-Force, Alpha Flight, Brotherhood of Mutants, you know what I mean? So I think more of the team round and doing all that stuff. If you think about, even Blade into Midnight Suns. That's kind of interesting, right? It is, and it's interesting to do Midnight Suns. I think that just has more of a draw, a little bit of that Avengers energy. So I totally get it. I understand. It's shifting in and out of focus every second. Well, that used to happen. Maybe it's Chewie. Is it Chewie in the background that's doing it? Because that used to happen when I had Chewie. I had to like put something over Chewie's face for a while because it would like autofocus back to Chewie. So maybe I'll check that out and fix it up for you. The autofocus is as blurry as the leaked Namor. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't leak that. House of Representatives discussed aliens today, stated U.S. and other countries have downed craft. USA is in possession of non-human biological bodies, and they believe they may come from the ocean. Wild shit. Yeah. A lot of that shit's wild. They're not coming from the ocean, although there could be some fixture in the ocean that is like basically 3D printing things that then are like observing or like checking stuff out. But I don't think that's like where the beings actually come from. Most likely some of the things to keep your mind off whatever they're doing about, but would be scary. Oh, you're talking about the alien stuff? Yeah. Who do you think is winning Tyson versus Paul, John versus Stipe fights? I want Stipe to win, and I want Mike Tyson to win. Yeah. But, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I'm actually not super confident in either of the picks. I just really don't like John Jonesman. I think he's a horrible human being. He's obviously a really talented fighter, but to be real, like, the way that the UFC has like bent over for John is like a little distasteful for me. Literally changing rules, delaying fights. They just changed the gloves for him. It's so crazy. And I just don't think he's a good person. But beyond that, he's ducking Tom Aspinall. That is wild as shit to me. Like, it is wild. The disrespect and the way that he is ducking Tom Aspinall. Insane. And then as far as like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, I mean, I just don't like Jake Paul, man. You know what I mean? I think that's like a part of his brand. And there was even a time where I was actually starting to like become Team Jake a little bit. But I just think he's such a goddamn ridiculous person. And like, why are you fighting a 60-year-old guy? You know what I mean? Now, granted, it is Mike Tyson, and you got to give him credit for at least making the possibility of Tyson winning, like, just like we thought maybe Nate Diaz would get it done, maybe the Spider would get it done, all these different things. Like, he's clever in picking his opponents because, like, we can still imagine that this person would have a chance, but in all reality, no chance, zero chance. Is that what's going on with Mike Tyson? I'm not really sure, but I would really like him to. I would love, dude, if Mike Tyson like just ragdolls Jake and ends up knocking him out. Oh, that would be fantastic. That'd be great. Oh yeah, Jones is a pretty bad guy, I think. Yeah. I think Jones low-key hype in the fight to be the villain. I mean, if that's what he's doing, then that's pretty clever. Because it's building interest. But I think he's actually just straight ducking him. That's what I think. You think it's scripted? I don't think it's scripted. You think it's scripted? Muscle memory's going to kick in. He's going to crack him in the face. I mean, sure. But dude. I don't know. Adam, I'd love to believe that. I'd love to believe that, but I don't believe it. Like, I'm pretty sure once you get to 60, like, the wheels are pretty much falling off. Yeah. My brother, he is 60. Yeah. He's 60, yeah. Yeah. Correct, yes. Might take a bite out of Jake's ear. I doubt it. I mean, it'll be sick, dude. I don't care. Fuck Jake Paul. There was a vid posted this morning. The man legit walked out of an interview because he thought he'd be asked about Tom. I know, man. What a pussy. What a pussy. And, dude, I think Tom Aspinall would whoop his ass, too. For sure. For sure. I'm 38 and my wheels are worn the F off. Yeah, same. Except I'm going to be 37 in a couple of weeks here. Money is clouding the mind, man. Holy dog. Yeah. You might be right. I'd love to bet on this if it's legitimate. Yeah, is there betting on this? I was going to bet on Jake Paul, one of the other Jake Paul fights, and they literally wouldn't let me do it. Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? All right, everybody. I'm going to call it there. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I was going to do a watch party tonight, but then everybody was defending James Gunn, so I need a break. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Video later today about Franklin Richards. It's actually lit, dude. It's actually really cool. So look forward to that video. And hopefully this Spider-Man news pops out, you know? Hopefully Shine actually, she's been teasing the Spider-Man news for like a month. So it'd be great if we actually got it. And if that happens, we'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hang on, let me change this. Let me change this. Get that going on there. Boom, chakalaka. Okay, as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. What the hell? That's not the song I wanted. Okay, there we go. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Another happy landing. You know, light on news, but we still got in there and fucked around. Also, what the fuck is this song? No! I like this one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and we fucked around, man. A lot of interesting things, little tidbits here and there. Hopefully, some big news drops before tomorrow, and we'll have something juicy to talk about. I don't want Star Wars news, but hopefully, some actual Jose news. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Much love, everybody. Video later today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you... Oh, I saw your super chat. Hang on, let me see here. Happy 6th birthday to my little angel, Kelly. Happy birthday to Kelly, man, for sure. Happy birthday to Kelly. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you open up that third eye. And wash out your stinky James Gunn. I mean, your stinky butthole. Okay, I'll see you later.